See, here is your fellow Grey Warden. You worry too much, young man.
You're alive. I thought you were dead for sure.
Afraid you were going to be left alone. Don't really want to say that, because I kind of feel like that. Like with Fergus, because from what Morrigan said, he might be alive, but I don't know. And probability is definitely not on his side. I don't want to be too cocky, because I did nearly die. I'm not dead, thanks to Morrigan's mother. I think that makes sense.
Oh, this doesn't seem real. If it weren't for Morrigan's mother, we'd be dead on top of that tower.
Do not talk about me as if I am not present, lad.
Sorry.
I didn't mean... But what do we call you? You never told us your name?
Names are pretty, but useless. The chastened folk call me Flemeth. I suppose it will do.
The Flemeth? From the legends? Daveth was right. You're the Witch of the Wilds, aren't you?
And what does that mean? I know a bit of magic, and it has served you both well, has it not?
Well, it's kept us alive. Who cares what she is? We need to do something now. If you're Flemeth, you must be very old and powerful. We can't be safe here, we're all Darkspawn. I suppose we should thank you. Well, Morrigan said it was to do with her magic. And I don't think she'll give us more information. If you're Flemeth, you must be very old and powerful. While true, it might be she just shares the name or something. So, yeah. So why did you save us? It's probably... Or I suppose we should thank you. No, I want to know. I want to know the answer. Why did you save us?
Well, we cannot have all the Grey Wardens dying at once, can we? Someone has to deal with these Darkspawn. It has always been the Grey Warden's duty to unite the lands against the Blight. Or did that change when I wasn't looking?
It changed when most of them were slaughtered. The land is hardly united thanks to Loghain. No, I think a sense of duty and honour. I mean, he's a nobleman who's a rogue and can backstab and picks locks and yes. But no, sense of honour and duty. So, has the duty changed? No, of course it hasn't.
But we were fighting the Darkspawn. The king had nearly defeated them. Why would Loghain do this?
Now that is a good question. Men's hearts hold shadows darker than any tainted creature. Perhaps he believes the Blight is an army he can outmaneuver. Perhaps he does not see that the evil behind it is the true threat.
The Archdemon.
Then we need to find this Archdemon. What is the Archdemon? So is the real Grey Warden here? Well, I am a Grey Warden, so I don't really think I'll say that. Will you help us fight this Blight? We should contact the rest of the Grey Wardens. What could the Turn hope to gain by betraying the king? The kingdom? Maybe? Right. Yeah, what is the Archdemon exactly? I mean, I keep hearing it's a dragon, but I don't hear much more than that.
It is said that long ago, the Maker sent the old gods of the ancient Tevinter Imperium to slumber in prisons deep beneath the surface. An Archdemon is an old god awakened and tainted by Darkspawn. Believe that or not, history says it's a fearsome and immortal thing, and only fools ignore history.
Right. Well, we do need to find it, but I'm not sure then is appropriate. Will you help us fight? Will you help us fight, Flemeth?
Me? I am just an old woman who lives in the wilds. I know nothing of blights and darkspawn.
Well, you've just told us about the Archdemon.
Whatever Loghain's insanity, he obviously thinks the Darkspawn are a minor threat. We must warn everyone this isn't the case.
And who will believe you? Unless you think to convince this Loghain of his mistake.
He just betrayed his own king. If Al Eamon knew what he did at Ostagar, he would be the first to call for his execution.
Al Eamon? The Earl of Redcliffe? I probably would have heard of him.
I suppose. Al Eamon wasn't at Ostagar. He still has all his men. And he was Caelan's uncle. I know him. He's a good man, respected in the Landsmeet. Of course, we could go to Redcliffe and appeal to him for help.
Keep in mind that Logain was also an honourable man. Cynicism. Such a young age. I think he'd probably... It sounds like an excellent idea. Surely there are other allies we could call on. Well, we've got the treaties. Yeah, I think... You know... And not just Logain. Arl Howe. Both honourable men. I think he's a bit bitter and cynical about it. Keep in mind that Logain was also an honourable man.
The Owl would never do what Tan Logain did. I know him too well. I still don't know if Arl Eamon's help would be enough. He can't defeat the Darkspawn Horde by himself.
Shut up, Chester. We're having a deep conversation. Snuffling around. Yeah. It's up to us after all. We need the rest of the Grey Wardens. Because we've got the treaties. So surely there are other allies we could call on.
Of course! The treaties!
Blammo.
Grey Wardens can demand aid from dwarves, elves, mages, and other places. They're obligated to help us during a blight.
I may be old, but dwarves, elves, mages, this Arl Eamon, and who knows what else. This sounds like an army to me.
So can we do this? Go to Redcliffe and these other places and build an army?
As long as there's some profit in it, no. Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Why not? Isn't that what Grey Wardens are supposed to do?
So you are set then, ready to be Grey Wardens.
I'd be happy with just staying alive. No, I'd like to become, well, I'd like to become the Ten of High, but that depends on if Fergus is alive or dead. I don't suppose you'd offer any more help. As ready as we'll ever be. Yes, thank you for everything, Flameth. Yeah, I think we'll say that. Yes, thank you for everything, Flameth.
No, thank you. You are the Grey Wardens here, not I. Now, before you go, there is yet one more thing I can offer you.
The stew is bubbling, Mother dear. Shall we have 2 guests for the eve, or none?
The Grey Wardens are leaving shortly, girl. And you will be joining them. Such
What?
a shame. What?
What?
You heard me, girl. The last time I looked, you had ears.
Thank you, but if Morrigan doesn't wish to join us, I think that's an excellent idea. No, we'll say that. So thank you, but if Morrigan doesn't wish to join us...
Her magic will be useful. Even better, she knows the wilds and how to get past the Horde.
Have I no say in this?
You have been itching to get out of the wilds for years. Here is your chance. As for you, Wardens, consider this repayment for your lives.
Was this your idea all along? Very well, we'll take her with us. No, I'm going to be a bit suspicious. Was this your idea all along?
Pardon me, but I had the impression that you two needed assistance, whatever the form.
Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, but won't this add to our problems? Out of the wilds, she's an apostate.
If you do not wish help from us illegal mages, young man, perhaps I should have left you on that tower.
Point taken.
Mother, this is not how I wanted this. I'm not even ready.
You must be ready. Alone, these two must unite for Eldon against the Darkspawn. They need you, Morrigan. Without you, they will surely fail, and all will perish under the Blight. Even I.
I understand.
And you, Wardens, do you understand? I give you that which I value above all in this world. I do this because you must succeed.
She won't come to harm with us. I understand. No, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say she won't come to harm with us. We'll keep her safe.
Allow me to get my things, if you please.
Alright.
I am at your disposal, Grey Wardens. I suggest a village north of the wilds as our first destination. It is not far, and you will find much you need there. Or, if you prefer, I shall simply be your silent guide. The choice is yours.
I think I've already asked her all the questions. Let's see what we can ask.
I may have answers. Ask.
I I have no more questions. This will be
Farewell,
2 minutes
Mother.
later.
Do not forget the stew on the fire. I would hate to return to a burned-down hut.
Bah! 'Tis far more likely you will return to see this entire area, along with my hut, swallowed up by the blight.
All I meant was...
Yes, I know. Do try to have fun, dear.
Right. Oh, Morrigan approves. Alistair approves. Quest updated. Like, new codex. Right, a lot of things are popping up at me. Let's see what our new codex says. Ooh, quite a few there. Flemeth, you're required to do nothing, least of all believe. Ages ago, legends say Ban Conabar took to wife a beautiful young woman who harboured a secret talent for magic. Flemeth of Highever. Wonderful place. And for a time they lived happily until the arrival of a young poet, Osen, who captured the lady's heart with his verse. They turned to the chasing tribes for help and hid from Conabar's wrath in the wilds, until word came to them that Conabar lay dying. His last wish was to see Flemeth's face one last time. The lovers returned, but it was a trap. Conabar killed Osen and imprisoned Flemeth in the highest tower of the castle. In grief and rage, Flemeth worked a spell to summon a spirit into this world to wreak vengeance upon her husband. Vengeance she received, but not as she planned. The spirit took possession of her, turning Flemeth into an abomination. A twisted, maddened creature, she slaughtered Conabar and all his men, and fled back into the wilds. For 100 years Flemeth plotted, stealing men from the Chastened to sire monstrous daughters, horrific things that could kill a man with fear. These Korcari witches led an army of Chastened from the wilds to strike at the Alamari tribes. They were defeated by the hero Cormac, and all the witches burned, so they say. But even now the wilders whisper that Flemeth lives on in the marsh, and she and her daughters steal those men who come too near. Morrigan's mother saved the last Grey Wardens from death at the top of the Tower of Ishal, but just who or what Flemeth truly is a mystery. This seems really weird, really not poorly written, but weirdly written. Like, this first bit, apart from this last paragraph, is very much kind of legend and myth, and it's like, this actually happened, we've experienced it, so it just seems strangely written. Alistair, you know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together. Right. Right, oh yeah, we've just found this out, haven't we? His mother was a serving girl who died when Alistair was very young. He was raised by Eamon Gwerin, Earl of Redcliffe, for a time. Earl Eamon Gwerin. Nobility does not exist without obligation. We owe all we have, even our lives, to our land and our people. So that's the noblesse oblige. So the nobleman's obligation. As the maternal uncle of King Caelan, Earl Eamon is one of the king's most trusted advisors. Redcliffe, while not a large or especially wealthy part of Ferelden, is a critical strategic location. The fortress guards the western pass that leads to Orlais, as well as the major trade route with Orzammar. A well-respected man, though not the most charismatic. King Caelan once said of him, "My uncle Eamon is a man everyone thinks well of, when they remember to think of him at all." Morrigan. Which of the wilds? Such idle fancies, those legends. Have you no minds of your own? Of herself, Morrigan says little. She does not deny being a witch of the wilds, but beyond that, everything about her is in question. Her mother claims to be Flemeth. If that's true, then Morrigan might well be a very powerful witch, for the tales of the daughters of Flemeth tell of twisted, monstrous women who can kill a man with fear. She was made to accompany the surviving Grey Wardens, the payment, Flemeth said, for saving their lives at the Tower of Ishal.